Yo, when you well, what's up, good people? How you doing? How you been? It's been a minute since I promised you part 8 of this video series where we create, review, and reveal. Now, what have I been up to? I have been around with a couple of things, and I'm going to do an episode for that. Yo, when you well, yet again another episode. I am so excited for this moment. Wait a minute. I keep forgetting to close this. I don't like closing it. I had promised myself that I'd remember to pin this so that I look like a good boy. They call this the good boy look. There you go. This is us again, and we're talking about perceptions, dealing with negative opinions or whatever kind of opinion as a creator. Yet another kind of practical noise that you have to experience as a YouTuber, as a content creator, as a business person, entrepreneur, whatever it is that you're doing. Even if you're starting a new family, you will have to deal with people's perceptions and opinions. You will at some point need to get feedback. Feedback comes back to you in three. One, it could be appreciation feedback, where your friends, your colleagues, your family is giving you appreciation, just expressing gratitude, giving you well wishes, where they're celebrating you. And then we have coaching feedback, whereby you get to get information, get some opinion from somebody who is mentoring you through a state, a teacher, a supervisor, or even a colleague, a friend, somebody who is challenging you to grow through a phase, maybe transferring a skill to you. They're coaching you and giving you opinion on how you can perform better. I have been receiving that a lot from you. And then there is number 3, which is evaluative feedback. This is the measuring part of it, the evaluation part of it, the appraisal, where you get to look into your performance, where we get to see how you have been faring on. In projects work, you can call that monitoring and evaluation. Then you provide an opinion. Now, we're not going to dive deeper into what these 3 feedbacks really mean, or what they mean to you as a person or to me as a person. But now that you have an understanding, or rather a background of the types of feedbacks, then let's get to talking about dealing with perceptions, opinions on the internet, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. In the context of this video, we will be discussing more about handling feedback as a content creator. Now, this is just as an example so that you're able to transpose this information into your other area of life. You may have made it here to the 8th step of starting your content production journey, and this is what it takes. 1, you will need to be appearing on camera, and if not camera, you will need to be using your voice in one or another. And maybe now in today's world, you may use AI tools where you do not need to use your voice or maybe even appear on screen. When it comes to appearing on the screen, there is your personal grooming. And many people get stuck at the point of, am I likable enough? The point of questioning your own confidence on how you're going to look like. The point of seeking validation, lacking sufficient confidence on whether people are going to appreciate your grooming or not. How you look can sometimes work in your favor or against you, but somebody who is going on screen needs to be prepared for either sides. Most creators and other potential creators will really struggle in overcoming this step of confidence. Most people question their looks, most people question their clothing and some other whatnots that define your self-esteem. Now, some people's esteem has been shaped by just being on screen. Others have had their esteems broken just by taking the risk of being on screen. This is one area where most creators will admit to you that they also went through the same challenge of predetermining whether they are likable enough on camera or even their voice is likable enough on their microphone. Let me give you a story. Back in the day, I used to be an MC. I was so rough on the microphone. I was so good. I believed I was so good, but I had never hosted an event. I had never hosted a concert or even a kind of promotional, what we call activation events. So MC Angel, big up where you are. MC Angel gives me a call. Hey bro, where are you? I need you to go to this gig. There is this Safaricom live gig happening in Sarit Center in Westlands. So you go there, just get the mic, do your thing. These guys are gonna pay you at the end of the day. All right, deal. Back then, I never used to ask so many questions. I trusted the word. Well, a story for another day regarding contracts and questions that you need to raise as a content creator when it comes to such engagements. So I rush to Westlands, to Sarit Center, and I get the microphone, and they were really expecting me. They were really waiting for the dope MC. My name was Slick MC. That was the boy. It was the real thing. I get the microphone and I see on the other side that they have displayed phones. I figure out that we are here to sell phones. We are here to promote Safaricom phones, and this is going to be it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. But in my mind, I was not so into phones. I didn't have all the details of phones. You know how you break down a phone. You say, oh, these types of pixels in the camera, this is the chipset, this is the whatnots, you know, the Samsung versus iPhone kind of trouble that you get into. Today I could do that, but back then, I pick the microphone and I think, yeah, I can actually sell the phone. I don't have to go deeper into the details of the phone, but I can actually sell the phone. Customers don't need all these particulars, all these kind of reviews. They just need to convince someone that, hey, this phone is good for you. This is how it's gonna work for you. This is why you need it. I was stuck at what choice of language to go for. So I decided to do it in Shang. If you know Shang, it's like a Swahili pidgin here in Kenya. So I'd start to do my thing. You know, I'm giving it a taste and I'm doing so well and I feel it's coming so naturally. Then I see someone come over like to inquire more about the phones that we are selling. To my surprise, this guy walking over to the DJ decks where the MC and the DJ and the activation girls were hanging out, or rather we are doing our thing, comes straight to the desk. He sees me holding the mic, but still has the audacity to ask, who is the MC? Who is coordinating this? Who is the MC? I'm like, oh, I think he likes the MC. Then I'm like, hey, that's me. I tried to link him with a lady there to assist him with the purchase, but he's like, no. Actually, don't touch the microphone again. Don't you dare touch that microphone again. If you want to know who I am, don't touch the microphone. That's pathetic. This is not ghetto radio. This is Sarit Center. I go like, ooh. Oh yeah, this is Sarit Center. This ain't no ghetto radio. But then I think I went for the ghetto radio version of advertising because ghetto radio was becoming a thing at the time, regardless of the Capital and Homeboys and the likes of Kiss FM. Ghetto radio was quite a thing at that time, thanks to Mwafrika and other guys who really pioneered in pushing the brand forward. So, and then looking around, I'd say yes, we're in Sarit, but dude, you also look like you're from Eastlands. Why are you insisting this is Sarit Center? So it's just Eastlands people hanging around here and a mix of other people. So it doesn't harm to have a session of sham. But then he looks at me and he's like, I don't like you. Like, what don't you like about me? So I was so sensitive. I put the mic down. I don't remember putting it off, but I think the DJ just muted it. And the guy walks away. Then I turn to the DJ. I don't remember his name. I even never got to ask his name, I think. I can't remember his name. I asked him, what is it that he doesn't like about me? There was always this thing about my voice when growing up. And I asked him, hey, is it my voice that he doesn't like? He didn't explain anything. But now I come to think of it, I reflect upon it later, and I think it was the choice of language, which was just my introduction anyway. But he didn't give me a chance to see how much more I could deliver. But also, given the panic at the time, I didn't have time to reflect on that more critically. I just went to, maybe he doesn't like my voice. Because previously people had told me, hey, your voice, we hardly can hear you, we struggle with your voice, we have these issues with your voice. And I got to ask another lady over there, hey, what about my voice? And she told me, you can actually do well in radio, in late night radio, like Dr. Love. It's the funniest thing I ever had. I never imagined myself on radio. To date, I've never given a shot to radio, but she made me realize that, there's nothing actually very wrong with my voice. You just need to find the right place to use your voice. You're actually very, very okay. I don't remember who that lady was, but to date, I think she spoke something meaningful to me. What is the moral of this story? That when it comes to appearing on screen and making content, you are going to be dealing with personality checks. You're going to be dealing with feedback. You're going to be dealing with tough comments. And now, in the new media world where we are in, maybe the kind of feedback we should be talking about is one, there is a production-based feedback, which is what we said, appreciation feedback. Your friends will be very happy for you for whatever you're doing. They'll comment you for it. They will tell you you're doing excellent work. Secondly, your coach, you'll need to find someone to work with you, someone to challenge you critically and more technically. I have my friends who do that to me. I have my friend Nebat Najuri, he's a web designer and he's also a former producer. I have my friend Oti Jr. who challenges me on how I'm articulating my content as well as how I'm producing, editing, cutting, people who give me feedback. And I also have people who celebrate me. And then I have the evaluative feedback, which comes mostly from you who do not know me, but you meet here every other time and we feel like we really know each other. I love that feeling actually. It feels good. It's a spectacle how we get to connect and how the world has gotten to this point where I can see you and I can imagine that I see you and trust that you like what you're seeing. Sometimes how you grow up, your surroundings can also shape the way you feel about yourself. You may be confident because you grew up around being the macho guy, being the guy who was wanted by everyone. So you already know you have the beauty, you have the looks that to go on screen. You may have grown being the person who was jested around all along. People were constantly making fun of you. If you are black, people were constantly referencing you to charcoal. If you are very light, people were considering you weak. There may have been all these kinds of stereotypes that you may have gone through, and others may have gone through elevation throughout their lives. So when you come to this moment of deciding on a screen test, then your background can work for you or not for you. But then what matters is how you tackle the situation. The audiences on the internet are the people who are going to give you constant comments, feedback, instant. All types and sorts of discussions are going to be taking place and you are not in charge. At least with your friends, you may know what to expect because of the nature of the way you relate from friend A to friend B. If you need a critical opinion, you know who to go to. But then with the digital setting, you do not know who is going to be consuming your content and how they are going to be reacting to you. So this is how you brace yourself. I talked about a challenge on how you look. People are going to be reacting on how you look. These are people who are going to be reacting on your second fear, which could be, are people really going to embrace my ideas? Are my ideas good enough for the internet? Are my ideas good enough for media? Are your ideas good enough for that business that you want to start? Friends again are going to give you feedback. Your coach is going to give you feedback. And then the unpredictable internet consumers are also going to come after you. So how do you get to navigate to handle these feedbacks? It's just in one idealized solution that you need to acquire today, and I'll put it in the most simple way, that you need to learn the difference between perceptions and perspectives. Once you are able to draw the thin line between the two, then you will be able to stand on any grounds. You'll be able to appreciate your looks, your grooming, your ideas, and everything. And you'll be able to not just present them to the internet, but also be able to confidently walk into any room, any type of setting, and convince people that you actually have the best ideas. So what are perceptions and what are perspectives? Simply said, perceptions are what you are thinking into yourself. There's what you think of yourself. Like for my case, I may have thought that I was absolutely good with emceeing, but then from another person's perception, I am actually not as good, and so I had to drop the microphone. You may think and feel that you actually look so good, feel so good about yourself, but then to another person's perception, you are not actually that. You may think that your ideas are the best, but then to another person, they're actually not the best. Now, the evaluative feedback is actually the most sensitive area because the appreciation feedback is just as it is. will appreciate your efforts in whichever way. The coaching feedback is a journey, so the person you are working with gets to give you constructive feedback, and even giving you suggestions on how to improve. But then when we get to evaluative feedback, anybody is open to evaluate you, especially when you make yourself a public good, such as when you decide to produce public content like what I am doing right now. I am open to receiving all sorts of feedback from anyone, all sorts of opinion. And so I need to be able to capture my perceptions and know that they are what I think of myself. They are my strong beliefs, yes. But then I also need to be open to other people's perceptions projected to me or projected to you against your own perceptions. That is what we call perspectives. And the moment you learn how to embrace perspectives against your perceptions, then you begin to excel. Do you have any questions for me? Put them down in the comments, or you can WhatsApp me directly to my line. I'm usually very quick to respond wherever I have the opportunity to. Or you can follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, anywhere on the internet. My tag name is Newell. It's been good. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Looking forward to part 9. See you soon, sooner than you think. You're doing well.